This is the all-new Honda PCX 125DX, the best-selling scooter overall for this year so far, so that must mean it's pretty good. But does this new model at £3,799 justify its price and remain as good as before? Well, stick around and find out as I give you our full review. So there, now we're out on the little PCX. What do I think? Well, initial impressions, I think this is it's a great little scooter, you know. It's very much the same as the last year in terms of its engine and performance, but obviously you've got the nice new additions of that massive TFT display that you can't really miss up the front. It's got a new rear disc brake and it's obviously got new rear suspension. But yeah, overall the engine's as per usual. It's just classic PCX. It's very kind of little pokey little thing. Honda stated it can get up to 61 miles an hour, but yeah, it's just classic Honda really. You can't really go too wrong with the PCX. It's obviously it's one of the best selling scooters alongside the NMAX from Yamaha for a reason. It's just one of those bikes that's just kind of does everything really in the scooter world. I can see why he's obviously so popular for couriers and delivery riders and so forth, and the slow speed manoeuvring on the PCX is always one of its key aspects. But we have 12.3 horsepower and 11.7 newton meters of torque on this. Comes paired with an 8.1 litre fuel tank, and Honda state it can do up to 134 mpg, which means that according to them you stick a fiver of fuel in it and you can get up to 112 miles, which is kind of ridiculous really. Stick a fuel tank in it and you fill 8.1 litres, and they say you can get up to 240 miles nearly, which again, you know, is equally impressive. Super fuel efficient, really frugal, and it's just kind of the power's never really a problem on the PCX. I mean, it's kind of your typical 125. It's fine up until about sort of 60, and some cases some bikes 70, but you know, it's just kind of pokey, which I quite like about this little PCX. It's a lovely little scooter, and I really like the little additions that Honda have put on for this year. Of course, this is the PCX 125DX model. This is the only one that we get here in the UK. Yeah, the DX model obviously comes with the upgrades that I've mentioned, but we don't get the choice of the original one. But yeah, I do like what Honda have done with this DX model, and I'm glad that this is a model that we've got, especially for the price that it is as well. I mean, 3,800 quid to get you something like this with all the screen like that, and a bike that looks as good as this anyway, I think is an absolute bargain. So yeah, initial impressions are good. Classic PCX and classic Honda, I'd say. Now, another nice thing on this PCX is obviously you get the start-stop. Really nice addition. So obviously the bike's just cut out, and you can just literally twist the throttle, gets it going again, and straight up to speed that we go. Come straight into a national now, so you can really kind of see the acceleration on the PCX. It's everything you kind of really need on a small city-based scooter. I mean, even out here on these sort of twistier country roads, the acceleration's not really an issue on the PCX, especially for a 125 scooter as well. But yeah, no, the handling on this bike is always nice as well on the PCX. Even sort of having these small wheels as well, it's quite throwable into the bends. But just keeping in terms of the engine, and for now, it's that 12.3 horsepower really does kind of get you along quite nicely. I think Honda have worked quite the tuning on this quite nicely. It's quite a usable sort of power band. Hasn't really got the top end, but I think it's kind of been tuned a little bit more for acceleration, because it has that sort of low speed grunt that you'd want. Even coming out of a bend, I mean, you know, it's not the quickest thing in the world, it's still slow, but it gets you up to the sort of speed that you want to relatively quick. It's not bad at all. Happily sit along here at 55-ish miles an hour. Not really too much of a problem. There is a bit of wind blast on this. I mean, you know, it's thing pretty much all scooters, isn't it? But I do feel like there's a bit of wind kind of lapping around my legs a little bit on these sort of speeds. I don't think there's too much weather protection on the front leg shields as you get with some other scooters, but it's not really a problem. You do just notice it on these sort of days that are a little bit chillier, but I suppose if you're going around town and city, what this scooter's designed for, you'd never really notice. It's just when you kind of get up to these sort of higher speeds, it becomes a little bit more prominent. But that's just kind of me nitpicking, to be honest. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a Honda, and I can never really fault a Honda too much. It just kind of do everything mostly well, to be honest. But anyway, should we pull in and take a look around the PCX 125? And when it's time to get insurance for your motorcycle scooter, make sure to check out Lexham Insurance, who have provided insurance solutions since 2000 and have several exclusive schemes only at Lexham. So make sure to go to lexhaminsurance.co.uk, link in the top right, to get a quote direct with them. So then, here it is. This is the brand new Honda PCX 125DX. We'll take a look at it in a little bit more detail, but initially this comes in 4 different colourways. We have this, which is the really nice sort of like pearlescent white. You can't really see it too much in this sort of daylight, but yeah, the sun, this really kind of pops. It looks really nice. Has a bit of a fleck to it. Other than that, we get black, grey, and then a sort of a darker metallic dark blue, which is again equally nice. All kind of quite muted choices, not really any bright colours, but you know, this is kind of an urban sort of city scooter, so I do kind of see why. Anyway, this comes with a total underseat storage of 30.4 litres, which according to Honda is perfect for a full face and much more. And you can kind of see if you come up here, if you push this, a little button. It's fitting my full face AGV K3 helmet, and of course, you know, as per Honda, room for much more. So that's definitely accurate from what they say. It's quite nice to see you can fit so much in there. But no, I think overall, this new model year looks absolutely fantastic. I think Honda have worked really nicely to get some really good updates on this model year, and I really do like the new TFT display and the new rear suspension as well. I love these sort of gold rear sort of shot canisters on the back as well. Really looks nice and pops nicely against this this pearlescent white. Of course, we get Michelin tyres. Of course, you know you're going to get that with a Honda. Really nice to see. They never really kind of skimp on cheap tyres, which is always nice. Standard Honda build quality and finish. I mean, everything is just everything's kind of perfect on a Honda, really, isn't it? It's all really nice to see. Same as last year, keyless ignition, always quite nice. And one of the key things for this year, this lovely big TFT display, which is everything you need and is controlled through this little toggle here. Kind of flick through all your stats and all your other data's on here. Those are settings. You can change it from white to black and so forth, but we'll cover that a little bit more later on. But overall, I think for what this is and where it's meant to be used, city-based scooter, really nice additions for this year. Of course, we get a new rear disc brake as well, updated over the drum from last year. Overall though, you know, it's a PCX, a Honda. I can't really say too much about it because it's one of the best selling scooters, like I said, it's alongside the NMAX from Yamaha for a reason. It just kind of does everything really nicely. And I do sort of love that sort of low kind of handlebar position. Kind of makes you feel a little bit more control of the bike. And as per usual, you know, for this year, ability lighted all around. You know, standard kind of fit nowadays, isn't it? But it's always quite nice. LED front headlight, LED indicators, LED tail. Really quite futuristic, this bike, isn't it? I know it's kind of marketed as what it is, but I've always loved the looks of the PCX. It's really kind of stands out as it being a little bit different. You can see the LED indicators in the back, going right to the front. Really nice. Like I say, really kind of futuristic style on this. Looks really modern. And all this for just under £3,800. So I think it looks great, but what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. So then, start up on the PCX. I do love that TFT, I think it looks great. Got to remember the back brake. It's such an easy bike to live with, this little PCX though. I think it's a great bike for a lot of people. You know, if you want something to commute on, or if you want something literally just to nip around the city, commuting, sort of with delivery riding, queuing, whatever it is. I think it lends itself really nicely to a lot of different things. Like I say, it's not the most powerful thing in the world, but it does get you up to speed as quick as you sort of want, really. You know, never really have that sort of overtaking capabilities or anything like that, but for what it is, I think it's pretty nippy. I also love this sort of revised bodywork that they've kind of changed a little bit for this year. I think it looked great. But anyway, in terms of the handle on this bike, we find a 14-inch wheel at the front and a 13-inch at the back. That goes along with the twin gas rear shocks that we just covered. Not only do they look great, but they handle great. And we have 31mm telescopic forks up the front as well. You know, I think the whole handling package on this bike is really nice. It has a lot of feedback through the suspension. I mean, it is a little bit jolty, a little bit firm at times, but I think you have to remember, obviously, again, this is mainly made more for the city environments, so I can allow a bit of leeway with that. But yeah, the braking on this is one of the biggest changes of this year. This is the first time the PCX has gone away from being a drum on the back. So now we have 220mm discs, front and rear, both single of course, paired with Nissin calipers. Again, of course, you know it's a Honda. We've got a twin piston at the front, single piston at the back, and they are super sharp. I mean, literally just here, I mean, you can just see the power in them, and that's only half holding them. I think it's a really impressive braking setup on this bike, and especially for a bike that's as light as this as well. I mean, it's only 134 kilos, this bike. It's so light you can even move it about like without on the stand as well. You can kind of like wiggle it to the back, and yeah, it's great. It is 4 kilos heavier than last year. Last year's was 130, this year's 134. It's so marginal, you're never going to notice. And of course, you naturally got to expect a little bit of weight gain with the additions of all the tech and bodywork updates and brakes and suspension and so forth. And I think 4 kilos is actually very, very reasonable given what Honda have done for this year with this new DX model. But yeah, no, otherwise I think handling wise, as we said as well, it's got Michelin tyres on it. A great choice of rubber from Honda on their part. And overall, it's just easy. This bike is just lovely to ride. It's super comfy as well, and yeah, overall handling just really complements the power quite nicely, I think. Like I say, it's a little bit bouncy on the bump sometimes, but it is what it is. You know, it's a city-based scooter, so I can allow it leeway with that. But you can see though, coming down here on these sort of lanes, power is no problem at all, really. It's perfectly fine. Living along here at 50 miles an hour, it's perfectly comfortable. I'm not even at the end of the throttle either. It's yeah, very much the same as last year in terms of power and engines. Not really been updated down that front, but why fix something that's not broken, hey? I think that's a good choice from Honda. It's also nice that this PCX is liquid cooled as well. A little bit of a power gain as well over obviously a standard air cooled. It's so easy to maintain speed on this bike too. I mean, coming through here at 30 miles an hour. Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, overall handling package, thoroughly impressed. Yeah, no, the other thing I think worth mentioning on this little PCX, I really love this kind of plastic cover that they've put on this for this model year. I think previous generations, you know, didn't look quite right with that exposed bar. Obviously it was a exposed chrome handlebar, and I think given that they put so much effort into everything else to make it kind of look that sort of futuristic style, I think all the other really nice design plastics kind of was a bit of a shame to see that unexposed bar on there. So it's nice that they put a bit of effort in and put that cover over. It looks really nice and finishes the whole bike off really, really well, I think. But no, I think other things that I really like, I'm really glad that we still kept the start-stop feature great to save a bit of fuel if you are using this in the city or in the town, for example, when you're in heavy traffic. Super easy, you can just flick it on and off. Nice big switch there. Nice to see that. And overall, so I think it's just worth mentioning as well that all the switchgear on this bike is it's really tactile and really well placed. Everything on this, even from like the traction here and all the TFT controls, easily move it along the fly. Really well designed and really intuitive, even with obviously your gloves on as well, you know. I think there's a lot of thought gone into all this. I mean, as you would kind of expect really, but no, I think it feels like a really decent quality machine. The seat's super comfortable as well, like I say, super low as well, 763mm high on this, so it's really approachable for pretty much everyone, I would say. I mean, even if you hover at longer legs, you can put your feet out the front here, like I say, and really stretch out. I mean, there's positions to do that, or put them here, whichever's more comfortable. It feels like a really adaptable machine, and you know, the acceleration on this as well, it really isn't bad. Gets you there in the end, and it's happily to zip along at 60 odd miles an hour. Like I say, Honda state they can go up to 61 on this, and I firmly believe that. I mean, coming up here at 60 odd is perfectly happy, doesn't feel like it's struggling. But yeah, overall, I don't think I can really fault this bike too much, you know. If I did, I think it'd be more nitpicky things, like I say, maybe a little bit of wind around your legs from the, not so much weather protection on the leg shields, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm quite impressed with this new iteration of the PCX. Didn't really need much updating. I mean, like I say, why fix something that's broken? But at the end of the day, the updates that have come along have just made it a really nice, really well-rounded package. Competitors. If you like the look of the 2025 Honda PCX 125 but aren't quite sure it's right for you, then the Yamaha NMAX 125 and the Suzuki Bergman Street 125EX might be worthy alternatives. The NMAX has a very similar power output to the PCX with 12.1 horsepower compared to the Honda's 12.3 horsepower. Torque is slightly lower at 11.2 Nm versus 11.7 Nm, but it does come in a little earlier in the rev range. It's also a little bit lighter, 132 kilos compared to the PCX's 134 kilos, but this probably won't be noticeable. The seat height is also almost identical at 770mm versus the 763mm on the PCX, but the fuel tank is smaller at 7.1 litres. The NMAX also features a 4.2-inch LCD dash with smartphone connectivity, while the PCX offers a full-colour TFT display with Honda RoadSync. Price-wise, the NMAX is about £200 cheaper, coming in at around £3,600 depending on the spec, but if you're still undecided, then you can check out our PCX versus NMAX spec battle on the Lexham block. Alternatively, the Suzuki Bergman Street 125EX could be a worthy alternative. It does however have a lower power output at 8.5 horsepower and a lower torque output of 10 Nm, so it will match the PCX for performance, but it's much lighter at 112 kilos and has a slightly higher seat height of 780mm. The fuel tank is smaller again at 5.5 litres and also only comes with a basic LCD dash, smaller 12-inch wheels and front disc with rear drum brakes, whereas the PCX runs bigger wheels and discs front and rear with a TFT display. It's not all negative though, as the Bergman is the most affordable of the three, starting at just under £3,000, which is roughly £800 cheaper than the PCX. So, are the new updates on the 2025 PCX 125DX worth it? I'd personally say yes. I think there's a reason why this is the best selling scooter of this year so far, and this new DX version only but improves on that. I really love the particular bits like the brand new TFT, the front body work with this new light just looks fantastic, I think. Really updates the whole PCX into sort of 2025. And overall, I think the updates are really kind of typical Honda. Everything looks great, feels great, and there's really nice build quality on it as well. So I would personally say the new updates are definitely worth it. So if you've enjoyed this review of this brand new Honda PCX 125DX and want to see more content like this, don't forget that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.